Oh, hello there, Site42 staff. Good to see you all coming into the chat. Welcome to another Anomalous broadcast from Site42, a Dr. Sherman's office hours. We're going to hang out for the allotted 3 hours starting now. So I am here to answer your SCP Foundation queries, whether it be the Site42 staff, containment protocols, the greater universe, whatever you need, and of course, the anomalies. Everyone has something to say about the anomalies. So, Cyrus, Amber, Stone Miner, Zeirdrin, good to see you all in the chat. Thank you for being members, as well as you, Mr. Creeper. And then Rosie, Carolyn, and Eve, thank you for being in the chat, just for being you. Why did I choose that title of the stream? Usually my streams and thumbnails are somewhat related to the SCP discourse at the time. Right now there is a very popular Twitter meme regarding SCP-1471, and I am once again left agog because MAL-0 entities are incorporeal. This means that you cannot touch them, let alone do the things that these people are trying to want to do with it. I don't understand it. It literally doesn't make sense. You cannot fraternize with this anomaly. But the thirsty people, I don't know. We do not fraternize with the anomalies. It's against policy anyways. So, Doma, good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being a member. Dr. Sherman, what happened if a D-Class was sent to Jupiter and saw a picture of SCP-096? Would it just ignore them, or would it jump to Jupiter for the KO? Do you know how fast SCP-096 can run? It has got those thick legs. It has got that squat booty. Despite the fact that it looks like it's rail thin, those muscles are stacked, and that thing can jump straight to the moon. So, yes, it will get to space, it will space swim to Jupiter, the D-Class will die. That's pretty easy. A king and queen, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being the first donor. Make sure to grab yourself some mozzarella on your way past the commissary. You said MAL-0 entities. There are more than one, question mark? Yes, a lot of people who don't read the wiki do not realize this, but every time a person downloads the MAL-0 app to their phone, they are given their own MAL-0 entity. So that is, in fact, every person who is infected by a MAL-0 gets their own iteration of the SCP-1471 species. It is not just one singular entity. I mean, it's not even an entity we have in containment. We can't contain the MAL-0s. They are incorporeal, meaning they are untouchable, intangible. And so they just follow around and stalk their victims, who eventually go mad, but that's about it. We can't, all we can do to contain it is take the app off down of app stores. So yes, there are multiple MAL-0s. That is just, nobody seems to actually read the wiki, therefore people don't seem to know these common facts about the anomaly. But that's why we're here. That's why I'm here for you at Dr. Sherman's office hours, so you can get the real intel that most people do not bother to look up. Noel, good to see you in chat. Thank you for being a member. Same to you, Lunar. OMG, don't go on, Dr. Sherman. You'll be giving the Rule 34 artists harem ideas. Listen, I can do nothing to stop them at this point. They are a blight on the internet, and the Rule 34 artists have won. We have lost. That is, we can contain a lot of things, but we cannot contain horniness. Nor do I think we have to, because it's non-anomalous. I mean, the amount they are, it's a bit anomalous, if I'm being honest. Hashtag annoyed and asexual. Beta Inari, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some crab legs on your way past the commissary. Prove me wrong. MAL-0 has never actually killed anyone. It's just the fact that people go insane. It may actually be trying to help people in their loneliness, but due to its properties, it fails. I'm not sure I can prove you wrong. I don't think that all MAL-0 entities are malevolent. I think there are, in fact, malevolent, malevolent, mallow. You see, it's the same Latin root word. You get it. So, yes, I do believe it's very possible that the MAL-0s may be friendly, but, you know, being stalked by something you can't comprehend can scare the bejesus out of you. And some people might go crazy from that. Question, how much can you stretch the definition of an entity? Enchant, I believe if we're talking about an entity, it has to be at least sentient. So, an anomalous knife that just sits there and it has to be used to have its anomaly, that is an object. An object that works automatically, but it's still an object, it's unthinking, still an object, not an entity. Once it is alive in a thought, not even a thought, sapient way, but a sentient way, if it can move, if it can hunt, the 939s are entities. They are not objects. And even then, anomalous entities are considered objects when it comes to humanization practices of the Foundation, containment protocols. Remember, even if it's an anomalous entity, it is still an object. It is still an it, not a he or a she. We have to use our proper pronouns when we are dealing with these anomalies so we don't humanize them and lead more people to try and fraternize with them. Drowsy, thank you for being a member. Welcome to the chat. You watched a neurosurgery today. Huh. Was it a normal neurosurgery or was it an anomalous neurosurgery? What did they need to get out or put in? Ugh. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of boysenberry pie on your way past the commissary. How is the foot today, Dr. Sherman? I like hearing the progress. It makes me happy knowing you are getting better. Well, I have good news for you. I talked to my podiatrist just yesterday. I don't know if I told you guys about this, but I clarified that the Achilles tendon is recovered and all that's left is some residual plantar fasciitis from my over-exercising injury. And so yesterday, to test out the foot a little more, I took a length of walk that I had not taken before, and my foot is fine. So we are making progress, slow progress. Today after stream, I'm going to go walk for a mile and a half and see how it does. I think, because I think I made it a mile yesterday. So we will test it out. We don't want to go too far. We got to keep it slow and steady. That's the biggest thing, is I can't get too carried away, because if I do, then I'm going to end up right back at the start. Does 096 get mad if you look at Licleam? It's it, not he. Shy Guy is an entity. It's anomalous. It's an it. It's not a he. Get your pronouns right. Does 096 get mad if you look at it or if you remember it? And the answer is, what makes 096 mad is if the image of its face is inside your brain. So if a blind person looks at 096, no effect. If you look at a picture of 096 from the other side of the planet, it knows and it comes to get you. So at that point, if 096's face is in your brain, you're done. Also, if 096 catches you and bites your head off, then technically 096's face is in your brain at the moment, and you are also dead. So it works both ways. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. It's the small things. I'm so glad. Well, I know exactly what song I'm going to sing at the end of stream. Thank you. You've inspired the credit song. Dr. Sherman, do different mythologies, like the Greek myths, have cyclopses count as an anomalous, considering that they are just humanoid life with a larger size and singular eye? What about the gods? So, a cyclops, that is a center eye cyclops, that is anomalous. They're not, well, interesting. Now I'm needing to do a little real world research instead of anomalous research. Are there center eye cyclopses in real life? I don't want to be ableist here if I don't have to. Obviously, if you're born with 2 eye sockets but only 1 eye, then that's a cyclops by definition. But you are still a baseline human, just with a birth defect. The orbits of the eye are not properly divided into 2 cavities so that they can be seen either by a single eye field or 2 bilateral fields that are very close to each other. The syndrome affects the embryos that are either or best die shortly after birth. So there have been center eye cyclopses, sort of, but they don't survive very long. It's okay. So this is a... So the real question becomes, these birth defect cyclopses don't seem to make it past infancy. Therefore, they are non-anomalous, but they are, you know, not doing well as humans. Meanwhile, the cyclopses of Greek myth go so far that they would be anomalous then, because our humans cannot survive to that point. On top of which, the Greek gods, remember, we currently actively contain right now Hera, Apollo, and Aphrodite in active containment. So those are all SCPs. I could tell you their document numbers. SCP Apollo is SCP 4411. No. Is it 4411? No, this is the Apollo Command Service model. I need to put in Apollo Greek so I don't get confused with 2143 is the Greek god Apollo. So 2143 is Apollo. Aphrodite is SCP-7454. And Hera is SCP-4453. So that is 3 Greek gods we have in containment right now. Clearly anomalous. Also, hope your future PT goes well. That reminded me that I'm starting my bachelor's for PT-CT soon. Oh, very nice. You're going to be helping people, especially in the medical bay. That's very good. Thank you for your service. Dr. Sherman, I think I just found a Dr. Pepper man. We just stifled the disaster in the Nugget Wing. And now there's a new Soda Man? It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Where can I get the MAL-0 app/program? I want to understand how it is acting. Totally not bored. Task force member. First of all, Jason Voorheen, thank you for being a member. And no, we have not had any necessary need for testing on the MAL-0 entities. Therefore, you do not need to know where to get the app. We're too busy getting the app taken down, let alone giving it to one random person for the lulz. Wyatt, Researcher Conjure. Who wins, SCP-682 or SCP-3008? Are you suggesting that the hard-to-destroy reptile gets in a fight with an infinite IKEA? How'd that even work? Who? Is it going to fight the shelves? What are you asking? I mean, what does that even mean? 682 versus the IKEA entities would be easy because they're not exactly powerful. And so it doesn't matter how many entities show up, 682 is going to wipe the floor with them. Meanwhile, 682 would love to Bending Rodriguez kill all humans inside the survivor villages in the IKEA, so that would be another win, quote, for 682. And then, I mean, it's an infinite building. 682 is going to fight an infinite building. I don't think that's going to be a thing. So I really do not understand your hypothetical here. We need to contain Zeus and neuter him. It's a god. It's an entity. It's still an it. Neuter it like a stray cat. I mean, that is... It would cause less anomalies to be created. And so you kind of got me on board there. I would like less work. And Zeus is out there birthing anomalies. Cooper Corp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a lobster roll on your way past the commissary. TF2 mercs might actually be able to beat the Foundation. Also, hi, Mr. Sherman. Doctor, please. I didn't get 7 PhDs, both mundane and anomalous, to be called Mr. TF2 mercs might actually be able to beat the Foundation. Canonically, how many mercs are there? Because they're not meant to be duplicates unless you're in a game setting, right? They are individual characters. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. There's only 9 of them. I mean, they're pretty good, but we have a lot of forces. I do not think the TF2 mercs are going to overtake the Foundation anytime soon. Maybe they would overtake one site and it would be a comical comedy of errors, watching them try to both maintain hold of the facility while dealing with the escaped anomalies their antics would likely release. Could end up very similar to the Looney Tunes episode that Mobile Task Force Samsara had to go through. That was pretty funny in the recordings, to be fair. I've already had a hypothetical containment where that happened, but it wasn't the TF2 mercs that took over the site. It was the Addams family. Because the Addams family, we could try and contain them, and they would end up moving in and having the time of their lives. That would be Wednesday and Pugsley riding 682 through the halls. Captain Echo, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some hot pot on your way past the commissary. Hops into Dr. Sherman's office to put a hyperactive 999 in, then hops out. Not my problem anymore. Steve! Schedule a D-slime for my office, please. Dr. Sherman, I'm in big trouble. I just got a text from MAL-0. What do I do? It wants to do very not friendly family-friendly things. You're being pranked, Professor, a professional dum-dum. It's in your name, professional dum-dum, that you would fall for pranks. But you're being pranked. Because first of all, the MAL-0 entities do not text words. They just text photos. Secondarily, again, incorporeal. Even if it wanted to fraternize, which they typically don't to my knowledge. That's only some wicked daydreams of the monster fuckers in the outer fandom. Even if that were the case, you can't touch it. No, you're just being pranked by some cohort who is also a furry. Maybe you guys can go on a nice coffee date together or something, since it seems like you're made for each other. Cyrus, language? We're all grown-ups here. This is a Foundation facility. If you're here from the cadets, you should not be here if you're in the Cadet Academy. This is for adults only. We deal with mature themes here at the Foundation. Wait until you are grown up to come to the Foundation's main streams, please. Go back to the Cadet Academy. A King and Queen, thank you for donating again. Okay, so if gods, like Apollo and Aphrodite, are real and in containment, are there any, aside from Zeus, we are aware of, but haven't contained yet? Well, depending on your definition of god, because what is a god except a large-scale anomalous entity, right? I mean, the Scarlet King could be considered a god, but it's not going to be worshipped by me anytime soon. On top of which, the deer could be considered a god for what it is capable of. But it is still, just at the end of the day, a very large and powerful anomalous entity. So, there's a lot of gods that are, quote, in and out of containment, depending on how you define them. I mean, remember, we do have 4 Jesuses, or Jezi, in containment. Bread Jesus, Uber driver Jesus, Vor Jesus, and Milk Jesus, aka Cheesus. So, there's a lot of gods in and out of containment. Have you contained a not deer? We have several deer-like entities in containment, but I believe the not deer is something off-site, right? The not deer cryptid, yes. So for us at the SCP facility, we have 2845 is the deer, so that's the entity out there. 6448, 6448 is literally the folklore entity known as not deer. So yes, we do contain the not deer. Containment of 6448 should be focused on investigation of deer exhibiting anomalous traits within and around the Appalachian area. All civilian sightings of 6448 should be attended to by Mobile Task Force Gamma 4, codenamed Green Stags. Possible deaths resulting from 6448 should be attributed to hiking accidents, and sightings are to be blamed upon chronic wasting disease. The Cryptozoology Division of Site 44 is tasked with ongoing research into the not deer phenomenon. Should an SCP-6448 instance be captured, it is to be brought for Site 44 for containment and study. So, yes, we have the not deer on the database. Congratulations. Cooper Corp, thank you for donating again. Since Samsara, so Mobile Task Force Tau 5, is a team of cyborgs, If SCP-0079 got control over them somehow, what would happen? So, I don't believe the Samsara agents are linked like a hive mind. I think they communicate via standard radio transmissions. And that means that if it got one of them, it would have control of this very powerful clone cyborg body. But it would then end up getting terminated by the other entities. I mean, if it took over the whole force, that would be a lot of trouble. But Samsara, even though we nicknamed them the Power Rangers and they're super cool clone cyborgs, they're not that powerful. They are taken out very often, and that's why they have to respawn and rebuild. Therefore, I'm not too worried, especially because 079 works off a very outdated technology. There is a -EX that is just the computer that 079 was on, and the key to it is AI in the future has gotten so crazy that 079 just isn't that anomalous anymore by comparison. The Tree. Thank you for your first 2 donations to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some bottled sunlight on your way past the commissary. I hate how slow the Tree judicial system is, but you've been served and I'll see you in Tree Court. Really? Tree Court. As if. There is no world in which you're going to see me in Tree Court. Now, there is a world where would you scream in Tree Court? Would you get so emotional over the treatment that you've had that you would wail out in pain and then end my research? Because then maybe you will see me in Tree Court. This could be interesting. I mean, I'm definitely not going to Tree Prison. No. You don't look like this and go to Tree Prison, trust me. Dr. Sherman, if the chat here were to be SCPs, how would you categorize them and how would you contain certain chat members? That is far too much to deal with. And remember, you're all Foundation staff. I don't need to contain you. You already work here. You're already sworn to secrecy. And if you're loyal enough to have a phone to be able to join this stream, well, that means that you are not likely to need me to check up on you, right? Right? No, you're my Containment Hazard Assessment Team, aka chat. And that's what we're here for. It's all very on the level. Junior Researcher HLG, desk is en route. Desk will be here shortly. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bowl of pasta on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, why are there 15 Mr. Deeds and a weird black cube labeled Deeds box? Are we me-seeking Mr. Deeds? Well, wouldn't you try to get more Mr. Deedses if you had the opportunity? Multitasking, it's a good thing. So yes, I'm hoping that our experiments will function well and that we will have a large amount of deeds to run around doing service to the Foundation. What's the worst that could happen? Hello, Dr. Sherman. Sorry. First off, Tratij, thank you for your first donation to the day. Make sure to grab yourself a blueberry scone on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Diane Foxington sent me. Search. Search what? Search Diane Foxington? I see. Movie character. You were sent here by the former governor of California. Oh, I hate interacting with mundane government. Even tree court sounds better than that. All right, well, what does Miss Foxington want? Your pal Mystery, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Jamba Juice on your way past the commissary. I found this weird knife on the ground, but nobody else is able to see it. But seeing as we all work with anomalies, you believe me, right? You know, logically speaking, we do see a lot of very particularly strange things here at the Foundation, and we deal with a lot of anti-memetic hazards that cause a lot of misunderstandings. And so we've always got to be looking out and having faith in our fellow researchers when they say something that doesn't seem to make sense. All of that said, knife? What are you talking about? A quick detour, everyone. I've got a slight announcement for you here at the 30-minute mark of today's stream. Remember, we're streaming for 3 hours today, so we are 2.5 hours left in the stream. I have a poll right now on the Site42 YouTube community page, on Twitter, on Threads, and then sort of on Blue Sky. Blue Sky doesn't do polls, so you have to reply your response there. But we have a poll going on those 4 platforms because I'm considering doing some in-person Site42/SCP fandom meetups. You see, over the summer, I've got travel plans. And those travel plans are that I'm going to be at MetroCon Tampa the last weekend in July. And last year, when I went to MetroCon, it was a very good time. And I encountered something like 65 to 70 people who knew who I was as an SCP content creator. It was crazy. And so I'm considering, hey, why don't we just organize a meetup, eh? And so I'm going to be at MetroCon. So MetroCon would be a logical place to do a meetup because it's already an anime and video game convention. Zerdrin, it is located in Tampa, Florida. And the date is the last weekend in July. So MetroCon is Tampa, Florida, last weekend in July. That's one option for meetups. The second option is the following week, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. And so that would be more a Midwestern meetup. Now, the trick of that is that, well, I might not be alone at that meetup. There might be another certain SCP community mega awesome person who may be there. So there's polls right now for the Tampa meetup and the Salt Lake City meetup. Please do not vote one or the other that you'd prefer. Vote the one you would go to. And if you're not going to go, don't vote. Because what I'm doing is I'm setting up possible head counts. If we have 50 to 100 people say they'll show up to an event, that is a different setup than if 10 people say they'll show up to an event. So I've got to see if we're going to meet at like a random bar or if we're going to rent a hotel ballroom and have basically a mini convention event. So on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on Threads, and on the YouTube community posts that I posted polls, vote if you can go or if you want to go / would go to Tampa or Salt Lake City on the allotted weekends. We're making some plans. We're checking it twice. And if we can meet up, that's going to be hella nice. Skipper, Dr. Sherman, I remember you have some videos about attempting to make a certain tree scream and you getting rather frustrated that it won't. That would be SCP-4521, and yes, go on. Are you sure you had / have the correct tree? Yes, it's actually very easy to tell because all trees in nature scream. And when all trees in nature scream when they're injured, we can register that sound on devices. Even if it can't be heard by the human ear, we can register that sound. Meanwhile, this one tree, SCP-4521, is completely silent no matter what. It does not scream. And that is anomalous AF, bro. So that's why we do what we do, because we have to fix it. We have to fix this situation so that we can maintain normalcy for the people. Have we ever caught the Doomslayer? No, score 12, but you know, there is literally a sarcophagus that contains it. It's not as hard as everyone thinks. Come on, keep up. We do the same thing with Abel. Game On, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chocolate chip waffle on your way past the commissary. If Miss Delight from Poppy Playtime looked at SCP-173, what would happen? Miss Delight from Poppy Playtime looked at SCP-173, what would happen? Okay, so you did a weird copy pasta of your question, but okay, let me find out what a Miss Delight is, because I'm unfamiliar with that anomaly. Miss Delight is a mascot. Yes, we assumed that. 7 other identical dolls. Play care school. What does it do? What does it do? Free by Catnap, brokered a deal. Become one of 1006's allies. Appearance, personality, history. Okay, so Miss Delight's movement mechanic was inspired by the Weeping Angels from the Doctor Who franchise, who have the same gimmick, not moving when someone is looking directly at them. So, what I would suggest you're dealing with then Miss Delight is a mascot character, but aren't the mascots in Poppy's Playtime made up of former human remains? Yes. So, that means that technically speaking, there might still be a human in there. And that means that despite SCP-173 only wanting to snap humans, Miss Delight might be included in that roster tangentially. So hypothetically speaking, we're looking at a couple things. Number one, it's an inanimate object, a mascot, and it's an inanimate object, a statue. They don't care about each other. I do not know the motivations of Miss Delight and why it does what it does. Does it chase children? Does it chase any human? Miss Delight's real teeth aren't the same as the teeth in undamaged form, suggesting she tore off her fake teeth to eat her sisters. And what does it do if it catches you? Is the next question. It jump scares you. All right, I'm going to assume... Oh, that's very dramatic. She also has become psychotic by hunger, resorts to cannibalism. Okay, but cannibalism of a concrete and rebar statue? That seems a bit far-fetched to me. Because it's not eating walls, which are sometimes in that place made of concrete. So, my assumption is they don't really interact with each other because they're both inanimate objects, they're not people. But if one were to be activated, I think 173 would be the one on the attack, because Miss Delight is, in fact, at least formerly human. And if Miss Delight blinks, then that's game over. But if they just end up looking at each other, maybe they lock each other into place. So I think it's either going to be a draw or 173 breaks Miss Delight. That's what it seems like from cursory research. Show hole for $8 dono. The only hole I'm showing you is a quick drive down SCP-087. You're just going to fall straight down the center. It'll be great. And say hi to the entity for me. Cooper Corp, thank you for donating again. The Chaos Insurgency got the tree to scream. You know, when you fib, you get less trust in the future. The CI did no such thing. If anything, the only thing they would do is steal the tree. And the tree's not going to scream because it gets to leave. That would be against its motivations. It would be happy to get out from under my boot. Mr. Sherman. Random fandom. I did not get 7 PhDs to be called Mr. So, Dr. Sherman. Are there any diseases that aren't real but completely made up to explain SCP sightings? Or at least a lot less common than the numbers say if the SCP sightings aren't included. Diseases that aren't real but completely made up to explain SCP sightings. I mean, when we need to explain an SCP sighting with a disease, it's usually okay, you know, weather balloon, swamp gas, that kind of thing. Not really diseases unless we're talking like making someone out to be psychotic so they get committed. And that would be more of a mental illness thing. But I don't know of us using diseases a lot in the disinformation department. I'll have to check with them. VW, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a Polish sausage on your way past the commissary. Is there a cult worshipping the Founding Fathers in the SCP universe? To my knowledge, there is no cult worshipping the Founding Fathers. However, in the story of SCP-3313, which is Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, there was a plot by the Chaos Insurgency to resurrect several Founding Fathers to coup the U.S. government. And it turned out all of the Founding Fathers they resurrected did, in fact, have some sort of anomalous ability. But I wouldn't call them a cult that worshiped the Founding Fathers. I would just say that they were utilizing that. Desk is informing me that although Miss Delight does attack with a weapon, the problem with Miss Delight is it is only a human level speed, whereas 173 moves faster than we can measure when you blink. So for defense, attack, and speed, it looks like 173 is the GOAT in that fight. All right, browser is reset from its error. That's good. VW, thank you for donating again. What do you think of an alternate Chaos Insurgency that managed to escape SCP-5000 and change their directive from theft and trolling to protecting sentient life? So you mean their initial mission when they were members of the Foundation before they turned traitor? Come on. Yes, I would love to see them do good things and not bad things, but they're not gonna, because they're a bunch of jerks. That's just Serpent's Hand with more steps. Nice, Funky Sunky. Doctor, good to see you today, and good job on winning our bet from yesterday. I made it to 5 minutes with that thing, and then started crying. Good job. I mean, I could have told you that's how it was going to go down. That thing has its ways. Is there music, or am I insane? ¿Por qué no los dos? Hi, Dr. Sherman. Popping in and out real quick because the phone is at 6%. Charge your phone. Jiminy sakes. Be responsible. Just want to let you know I drew 729- on my hand. Fear me. Did you draw that thing? Or did you draw a non-anomalous Peep plushie and are calling it that thing? It's two very different scenarios. VW, thank you for donating again. What anomalous abilities do each of the Founding Fathers have in that Benjamin Franklin expletive deleted file? You know, I don't recall it saying. Further, current dossiers recovered by the SCP Foundation indicate that in addition to various anomalous properties possessed by the 5 individuals, which was George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, and Benjamin Franklin, further information on these anomalous properties may be found in document Omega-54-J. And there is no link to that document, therefore it does not exist on the database. But we could have a little bit of an adventure. SCP George Washington. So 2776 is a humanoid automaton bearing the likeness of George Washington, but it's not actually George Washington. 1797-J is a portrait of George Washington. Okay, so we do not have a literal SCP George Washington, but that's not the only Founding Father that was referenced. What about SCP Thomas Jefferson? That mentions... No... What is this? Oh! Well, I haven't found anyone we talked about, but I did discover that there is the anomaly, SCP-2008, that the ghost of Andrew Jackson materializes and shoots people who shit-talk his wife. The ghost of Andrew Jackson will materialize if you shit-talk his wife and shoot you. Interesting. (1709-J-SCP). Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a knife with which to cut your stuffing out at the commissary. And before I answer your question, just a quick announcement, chat. Congratulations on getting the likes higher than the viewers. 192 likes, 179 viewers. Keep hitting that like button, and let's keep dragging people kicking and screaming into the SCP Foundation community one way or another. The algorithm favors our strength. You said I am your favorite plushie? Wow. You're a horrible, terrible monster and a delusional narcissist. Shocking. Pep Talk Guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a banana pancake on your way past the commissary. So I'm currently working through a math problem, but it feels like I'm about to arrive at a weird answer. Also, the zoological research team is here for some reason. Oh well, back to the math. I mean, anomalous mathematics makes my head hurt. The things they have to deal with are ridiculous. Now, let me real quick pull up SCP non-Euclidean -J. Which article is it? SCP Beach Ball -J. Okay, what if I just go to the -Js? Can I maybe find it from there? Okay, big red button, big blue button. Records of the CKG gathering. The way it begins. Toilet humor, blah, blah, blah. She thinks she's talking about what the fuck is that thing? Out of the mouths of babes. Unidentified creature. Jeff. Where is it? What Keter? I don't see any Keter. The baby. Special comedy procedures. A missile in your pocket. Displacement field. Normal trench coat worn by an adult. Come on. Where are you at? I need to go through this again. There are definitely some of these that I haven't seen. There we go. SCP-063-J is a non-Euclidean polyurethane object. When filled, the surface of the object mostly makes a sphere. We are trying to study what this anomaly is, but junior researcher Ryman is being a real tool about it. No one likes junior researcher Ryman or the Department of Applied Anomalous Mathematics, so don't worry about it. You can check out the SCP-063-J document if you want. If Hollywood were to make a live-action SCP movie, who would you want to act in it, and as what characters? Okay, so here's the trick. I have ideas for an SCP short horror film. I have ideas for an SCP television series. I don't really have an idea for an SCP feature film. Because then you're dealing with something that's very, it's got to be just the right size of an anomaly and scenario to make it worth the 90 minutes to 2.5 hours. So what SCP scenario would make the best feature film? I think that you could make a very fun feature film in the When Day Breaks verse. You make a survival post-apocalypse setting. You could even start with the daybreak scenario starting and give it kind of like a beginning of the movie is the beginning, the daybreak's day. And then you fast forward, time skip to when the main event of the movie is. So that is, also in all seriousness, I don't trust any movies to do us justice. Funky Sunky, that's why we're not trusting the studios. That's why we are building Site 42 and different SCP platforms so that we can fundraise to make our own movie. Our goal is to find artists who want to make these things, and we'll pull an A24 and do it ourselves. We have to do it that way because the Creative Commons means that no one wants to do an SCP movie. Would be nice. So the daybreak scenario makes for a good movie. What other scenarios make for a good movie? Leaf, no worries about being late. I'm sure you were handling something vitally important to the Foundation. And as a time check, we are 1 hour into the stream, so we are 2 hours left. Checking my content of anomalies that I've read to see what I would like for, an exploration of the class of 76 could be interesting because there are so many facets to it. So you could deal with, you do not recognize the bodies in the water. You could deal with the different high school anomalies and stuff like that. So you could take a tour of the class of 76 and have fun with that. I should really be looking at cannons. Cannons would lead to the most likely settings for movies. We would have to do a regular modern SCP movie before we did a movie in the Aces and Eights canon. The Aces and Eights is the what if the SCP Foundation in the Old West setting. Researcher Ellswick. Hey, Dr. Sherman, how tall are you? I'm 5'7", I want to see how tall I am compared to you. Well, I'm going to give you the opportunity to guess how tall I am before you give me the answer. So I'm watching in the chat, and I will see how tall you think I am before I reveal the answer. If you know the answer, don't guess. That's cheating. I will wait approximately 20 more seconds before I reveal. A lot of people are guessing short, guessing tall. All right, well, at the end of your guesses, the answer is Dr. Sherman is 6 foot tall even. I mean, I guess 6'1" if you count the hair. But yes, 6 foot on the dot. That is my height. It was very cool. I hung out with Radiger and Toad King Studios in Los Angeles last year. And Rad definitely said, wow, I did not think he would be so tall. So, there you are. Okay, someone suggested SCP-5000 as a movie. And yes, I agree with you. I don't know where that went in the chat, but I agree that 5000 could make a pretty good scenario. Oh, I see it here. VW, thank you for donating again to make your suggestion. An SCP-5000 in the style of Saving Private Ryan would be pretty interesting. It could show a Chaos Insurgent, a GOC soldier, and a Serpent's Hand, sorry for the earthquake, and a Serpent's Hand trying to work together to survive after the fall of Ganzir. Ooh, that is a really cool scenario. I like that. And you know what? You know what else would be a very good scenario, despite the meme of it? The Amogus SCPs could make a fun little movie. Because what you're dealing with in the first half is the Foundation chasing this Greek god that is playing among us because it feels neglected by history. And then the database that got so mad that we made it play among us so many times that it became sentient and took over the space station, we could have a whole back half of the movie trying to rescue the people on the space station and save the world. So that would be a fun little scenario there as an Amogus movie for the 2 Amogus SCPs. I see Dr. Pepper Dragon, you're right. A Site 13, What Happened to Site 13 would be an easily good movie as well. Sheeny, good to see you in the chat. You've missed the Meetup poll. We're doing a poll on the social medias. I might as well announce it again for new people. Do you want to meet me and other SCP fans in person? Because we're considering doing fan meetups in Tampa, Florida, and Salt Lake City, Utah. Right now, we're polling on the YouTube community tab and on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads. So vote on one of those. Don't vote on all of them, because then we might have quadruple the amount of people we think. But your vote is saying, hey, I would go. And if so, that'll tell us about where we would need to find a venue for such a thing. So go place your vote if you want to go to one of those IRL meetups, end of July / first weekend in August. Lisa, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Cheese Whiz on your way past the commissary. Which M4 Sherman would you be, Dr. Sherman? I have heard the Sherman tank nickname my entire life. So, honestly, I did not know that there were more than one type of them. I know they are fairly small tanks. I mean, comparison of tanks, that is. I believe there's only one kind, right? US prototype, doctrine. The M4 Sherman tank is... Oh, most Sherman subtypes ran on gasoline. I mean, I'll tell you this. I am not much of a military arms knower. Therefore, I wouldn't have a very good opinion on this question, unfortunately. So I'm just going to say whichever one is the fastest. Because if I'm in a war zone, I am aiming for speed and tactics rather than raw strength. Pep Top Guy, thank you for donating again. Help, bear. Okay, this is important. What kind of bear are you facing right now? Because there's a lot of anomalies. There's a lot of anomalous bears. Do you happen to be in SCP-2875, which is the town that got fucked by bears? Or are you dealing with SCP-1048, a small builder bear, teddy bear, that makes other bears out of materials that bears should not be made out of, that kill people? What bear scenario are you dealing with? I need more details. Aether, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, Abel and Kane broke me out of containment for some reason. Please help me. They aren't friendly to each other. Why would they help you? They together. Edward, thank you for being a member. And yes, SCP-2875 is literally titled The Town That Got Fucked by Bears. That's just what the anomaly's called. That's its code name. It's on the database. I'm not making this up. I mean, Aether, Kane and Abel being out of containment at all is a need to send security your way. So we'll make that happen. Oh, the page just refreshed and I'm well behind on donations. I will catch up to the best of my ability. Doma, why am I repeating myself? The town. Town is the subject. That got fucked. That's our verbiage there. By bears. I can't say it any more plainly than that, guys. If you're so confused, go read SCP-2875 and you can learn about the town that got fucked by bears. Daddy Pudding, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some ramen on your way past the commissary. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. We should tell that to the al dente SCP. They would probably get super offended, and I would laugh because as an Italian, I find them very offensive. The SCP, the Dad Father, made an unknown number of pasta globally into sentient mimics preparing for an invasion. Maybe that has something to do with the al dente anomaly. I'll have to check that out. Okay. I see that I've gotten your interest. Sloth, are you saying you want the town that got fucked by bears to be an SCP movie? Because I think it's an episode of a TV show more than a movie. That would be the closest. Because honestly, there's just not a lot going into the town that got fucked by bears. It's just that every 3 days, 50 to 100 bears show up. So, I mean, it's a whole thing. You should really read the article. N, did you just swear? We're all Foundation staff here. We all deal with very complex psychological and memetics on a daily basis. We are not mentally wounded by swear words. At least I don't think so. Okay, where was I? Let me get through these donos so I'm not neglecting that. VW, thank you for donating again. It could also be a political drama of the different factions trying to work together, or it could follow Pedro on his journey. I mean, either one would be good. You could make a series, a mini-series of the SCP-5000 scenario. It could be more than a movie, because there's just so much going on in that universe. Tanhoney really cooked with that one. Ivy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a jawbreaker on your way past the commissary. Rosie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a banana on your way past the commissary. I would go, but I live in the UK, so I can't. Understandable. One day when Site 42 gets stupid big, I'll have to do a European tour as well. Site 42 World Tour! We will contain all the anomalies on Earth. It will be great. Chimera Sliver, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary. Hey Doc, finally watched the last death video. Ouch. Understandable. It is with a heavy heart that I retire that character because, honestly, I like dumb, funny things, and I like a lot of aspects of that scenario. But based on the thing that the author of that character did such off the wall things, imbued the character with that same ethos, and uses the fame of said character to spread their influence and gather more so-called alleged victims, I would rather not popularize it, even if it is something that I would enjoy otherwise. So just the moral scales are on the last death of Jack Bright being final. That is why we don't talk about Bruno, people. Math made a bear help? Pep Talk Guy, thank you for donating again. And, oh, I do not like the idea of a mathematics bear, especially if that mathematics bear were able to gain a gun, because we would not know how well that mathematics bear was a master of trigonometry. VW, thank you for donating again. Is Wotjek an anomaly? I don't know what that is. Syrian brown bear, adopted by soldiers of the 2nd Polish Corps. Honestly? Yes, literally VW. Wojtek is SCP-5464. Wojtek is SCP-5464. I thought I heard about this on the wiki. So yes, it is, in fact, an anomaly on the database. And even more so, it is a mimetic entity. And at the end of the article, we are told that there is some sort of missive from Obearwatch Command. Obearwatch Command. So there you go. I got you covered on Wojtek. MAL-0 cannot be touched, you group of perverts. Desk, you're right on track. Appreciate you. United States of America, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some freedom fries on your way past the commissary. So, Dr. Sherman, how's that, quote, weapon I asked for coming along? Listen, the, quote, eigenweapon that you're looking for would go a lot faster if you followed the demands of our payment without being late. What is your government doing under SCP-5004-B that's making you guys so unreliable that we can't get the resources we agreed to from you? Huh? Maybe think about that before you start making demands about a deal that you are following through on. Phoenix, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some rabbit stew on your way past the commissary. I do not speak this language, but I can guess by context. Quale tu SCP favorito? El mío es SCP-564. So, my favorite SCPs I always say at the end of stream, but since you donated, I think I'll just do them now as a thank you for your donation. So, my favorite SCPs in no particular order. Now, I'm not going to say the SCPs I wrote. That would be cheating. I definitely would not tell you my favorite SCPs are the ones I wrote. That would be cheating. It's got to be SCPs by other people. But if you want to see my SCPs that I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's Site 42 Hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. That is where all of the SCPs I have written reside, as well as other things that I've contributed to. And while you're there, you can become a Patreon patron. For as little as $1 a month, you get early access to our videos. You can become a YouTube channel member and help us support the channel that way. You get your badges and emojis at level 1 and your green name, and then at level 2 and higher, you get early access. Either way, even if you can't support the channel, as long as you are watching, sharing, subscribing, doing all the YouTube business, you are a member of Site 42 staff and a member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. That means that you get, you help us to grow Site 42 and assist other SCP Foundation projects, but whether they be film or game or podcast or otherwise, we do our best to support the other SCP teams. And you help us to do that, so we appreciate you. My favorite SCPs in any particular order are 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and with a big trigger warning, SCP-8980. That one's rough. SCP-3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 8980 with a big content warning, and 5320. Ooh. Oh, I forgot about that one, Desk. Thank you for the tip. I forgot about SCP-1313, which is solve for bear, a mathematical equation that if you solve it, a bear appears. That is legitimately an SCP we have in containment. I forgot all about that, but I have heard of that one. So, yes, that is Pep Talk. I hope you're okay. We should get some normal security over there to deal with that bear. Thank the word it isn't at least a infinitely spawning bear / a builder bear. And thank you for donating again to clarify that to Desk and I. Phoenix, thank you for becoming a member at level 1 researcher tier. We appreciate your membership and your service. (729-J-SCP). Thank you for donating again. I scratched the tree with an axe. You don't have hands. You don't have hands. How did you do anything with an axe? This doesn't make sense. Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some smelling salts at the commissary because I'm going to knock your punk ass out. I touch Mallow and it's flirting now, send help. You did not touch Mallow, it's incorporeal. That doesn't even make sense. That's not how the entity works. You're all crazy perverts and I'm annoyed and asexual at all of you. Your pal Mystery, thank you for donating again. SCP idea, an SCP universe where everything is canon. Even the contradictions are canon? That's not a universe. That is an incursion of every SCP multiverse into one. That is the end of all things. Because if everything is canon, then nothing is canon. Phoenix, thank you for donating again. Oh, you just re-asked your question. Well, thank you for donating again for the same question. I did just do my favorite SCPs because you asked. SCP-999, how do I join membership? I believe you have to do that from the channel page, if I remember correctly. You go to the Site 42 channel page and there's a membership button. Dr. Sherman, I may or may not have accidentally locked myself in a room with a Keter class SCP. Now I'm trying not to die, so could you please unlock the door so I don't die? Well, I don't know. Are you locked in there or not? You said may or may not. I'm not sure. You've got to be clear about your scenario, don't you? You shouldn't just hem and haw because bad things might happen to you. And even then, Keter anomalies aren't always dangerous. Keter just means hard to contain. Remember, object classes are about containment difficulty, not danger. You could be in there with what's a non-dangerous Keter off the top of my head. Non-dangerous Keter SCP. I mean, I'd say SCP-4999, which is Keter but not dangerous. But then, if it was visiting you, you would be on your deathbed. So you would, in fact, be in danger of dying there. SCP-2662 isn't dangerous in and of itself. Cthulhu fuck off. But it does have those cultists who keep showing up and doing gross things. So that would be frustrating. It looks like 5160 is Keter and not dangerous. Yeah, you could be in a containment procedure. You could be in a containment room with a sheep, which wears a pointed witch hat. And when approached by a human, it will anomalously release aromas considered to the individual to be comforting and pleasant. And if you make things out of its observed vanish in a cloud of colored smoke and manifest in a housing area occupied by low-income families. 5160 will then seek out a public gathering space and wait to be approached. Children who speak to 5160 will be offered an article of clothing produced from 5160's witch hat. These items have been found to possess minor anomalous properties, thus far demonstrated to manifest solely for the recipient. So, it gives you superpowered objects that only work for you if you meet this sheep. So yeah, is that the Keter anomaly you're by? Because I'm not too worried about you then. So you got to be clear with your intentions, and you need to specify the danger level of your anomaly, not the containment class. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. So with the sand, what happens if an entity doesn't have any sand or exists beyond the sand, or its existence actively pushes all sand away? So with the sand, what do you mean by that? So with the sand. Are you talking about the sand fleas? I mean, I hate that anomaly so much because you put me near a bug anomaly and I will be on the other side of the room. Sloth. He means the pocket sand. The sand analogy of how anomalous something is. Oh, okay. So you're talking about how Humes work. So that's not how anomalous something is. That is, the sand analogy is about, sorry, about the earthquake. The sand analogy is about what kind of, what level of real something is, as in reality benders. So it's not just purely anomalous rating, it is reality rating. So if you have more sand, that means you are more real than the lower sand around you. And so using your metaphor here, what happens if an entity doesn't have any sand or exists beyond the sand, or its existence actively pushes all sand away? Well, that would mean likely that it would be some sort of fictional anomaly. It's not real at all. And it's so not real that reality can't even come near it. And that would mean that it would be very easily manipulated by a reality bender because it's not real. So I would imagine that, you know, if there's no sand at all, that means you are a fictional character who is being written. That's what I think that would be. White person. What is physically the largest SCP? Well, researcher White, I'm going to go with the giant space shrimp as my best guess. SCP space shrimp. Because that anomaly, SCP-5909, is a crustacean measuring 2.1 light years in length. So, that's a pretty big one. Mine Wolf, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some meatballs at the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I finally got out of the SCP-3008, but I lost the mahogany desk. Well, it would be much easier to get one if you don't go to the Infinite IKEA. Think. Daddy Pudding, thank you for donating again. What's a bear stuck in the rain? A drizzly bear. Nice. The Dad Father has created a new weather season where it rains a variety of bears, mainly in Florida. Well, it would be Florida for something like that. Honestly, what's the bear population of Florida compared to Ohio? Because honestly, I would have expected that to be more of a Ohio thing. There are 4,000 black bears in Florida approximately. And oh, only 50 to 100. Huh. I really would have thought Ohio would have had more bears than Florida. Bears just don't strike me as a Florida thing. But hey, I see. I stand corrected. Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for donating again. Mallow in the upgrade machine SCP equals plushies. To our knowledge, Mallow does not work in the upgrade machine 914. It's not only anomalous, and we don't test anomalies in there due to unpredictability, but also it's non-corporeal, it's intangible. There's nothing to upgrade. It's just a spooky ghost. Unfailing Eagle. Howdy, Doc. Interesting title for the stream. Well, yes. Over on the Site 42 Twitter, people are being a little wild about trying to boink an anomaly. You can look at the thumbnail to see the meme. I obviously crossed out the operative word for the YouTube censors. Good idea, Desk. Here at the halfway mark of the stream, the 90-minute mark, meaning 90 minutes are left. Remember, we are currently voting. We are currently looking for a head count, not a vote. A head count of how many people would go to an in-person Site 42/SCP community meetup in either Tampa, Florida, the weekend of 7/26, 7/27, so end of July, or in Salt Lake City, Utah, the weekend of August 2nd/August 3rd. Which, I mean, if we did it on August 3rd specifically, you would literally be hanging out with me on my birthday. So there is that if you end up in Salt Lake City. But we have 2 possible meetups. We are looking to see who might go to them. Because if you would go to them, vote that on either the YouTube community tab, the Twitter, the Blue Sky, or the Threads. Because if we have head counts and people would actually come, then we'll have a little meetup. And don't worry for those who are unable to travel. The bigger Site 42 gets, the more likely I am to go to other places as well. So it would be great to go around and have these kind of mini SCP convention, a traveling show of getting people together who like the Foundation. Could be fun. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. Sorry, the Mallow plushies were me. I made a few and stuffed them in there. It seems like the upgrade finally finished. Well, that's just upgrading plushies. That's not putting Mallow in there. That's putting Mallow plushies in there. That's absolutely different. I didn't expect you to appear on my YouTube Shorts, TBH. Well, Asteroid, welcome to the Foundation. You're here whether you like it or not. The SCP Foundation claims another soul to die in the dark so that humanity can live in the light. And good job, chat, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, getting the likes so far above the viewers. You are helping us to maintain the momentum of the algorithm to drag people into the fandom kicking and screaming. So good job hitting that like button and keep at it. The Weird Owl SCP with tentacles that brings you on dates if you call a certain phone number. My favorite. What are you talking about? I'm going to try and find this. You've caught my interest. Owl date. I'm gonna owl phone number. That should be. Oh, Lord. Tripedal digitigrade avian creature similar to a Eurasian eagle owl, possessing elongated caprine horns and leporine ears, standing 1.77 meters tall, possesses 5 tentacle-like appendages of adjustable length located on its back. Each appendage is of it. Okay, so I found the right anomaly. Wait, what the hell do you mean? Each appendage is of a different color, red, pink, yellow, blue, and green, and is safe for human consumption. What are you doing? Do not eat the anomalous entity, please. I don't care if it seems to be offering it. So this is SCP-2703, codename for a good time call. And description, SCP-2703 is the message for a good time call 092-791-697-5186. Manifesting on newspaper announcements, advertisements, websites, and on public restroom doors in the city of Manchester, UK. Should an individual call the number, they will materialize the entity within 2 to 5 hours. It will entertain you with pleasurable recreational activities, such as attending theatrical performances. Teleports the subjects in itself to locations chosen by the subjects. The effect is only limited to theaters, movie theaters, restaurants, and pubs. Following a 24-hour period, the entity will manifest after thanking the subjects with a 50-second long song performed in an operatic style. What in tarnation is this thing doing? This is your favorite anomaly? Okay. Okay. We listen and we don't judge, I guess. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself Grab yourself 2 fingers of rum on your way past the commissary. Ohio apparently does have bears, but the population is limited. Mostly we just have really stupid deer. Those deer do be dumb-do. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Tang on your way past the commissary. Since I'm pretty sure 999 has been referred to like Frisk, a, quote, genderless child, what would happen if you gave it the gender-switching stone? So 999 is a genderless slime, so I imagine 113, the gender-switching stone, does not affect genderless entities. To my memorization of the subjects of single-sex hermaphroditic species such as earthworms will not be transformed by 113. So yes, it seems like it just wouldn't have an effect on 999. Now Frisk is a human child. So there is that, and we do know that there is the gender spectrum exists in how it functions, and it deals with SCP-113 in different ways. So if you are of one of the common binary genders, so to speak, then it does cleanly switch you from one to the other. But if you are a non-binary individual, it can have particularly unpredictable results. For one, SCP-113 did give one of our non-binary researchers cat ears. And I think it gave them a tail, too, if I'm remembering right. And so... Let me go. I'm going to the Tails edition to find that one researcher who got the cat ears to see what their situation was. 113 Tails. The tale is content warning. This is still a Foundation story after all. And so Dr. Cat. Where does it talk about Dr. Cat's cat ears? Possible risk. Magic rock. As far as anyone can tell, I was, quote, gender fluid, and have my, quote, peculiar ideas of what my self-image should be like. So the magic rock just threw up its hands and gave me a limited shape-shifting power. So not only did it give Dr. Cat cat ears, but it just made them a shapeshifter. And when their mood changes, their shape minorly changes. So we are actually monitoring that person since they are strangely anomalous by their results. Your pal Mystery, thank you for donating again. Out of character, does the thirsting really bother you? Give me just a moment. Hey, they want to talk to you. All right, regular Sherman here for just a moment. I'm going to throw this out here. I'm going to throw this out here very rarely. I do not mind the jokes about fraternizing with the Anomalies. I think they're funny. And, of course, it's very funny for me to be the guy that calls you all out on that. I don't care about a lot of things that we do here. It's all for show. Enjoy the show. You asked, I got him to answer. Okay. Light Steve, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a shot of tequila on your way past the commissary. Hello, my favorite YouTuber. Love your streams. Oh, well, thank you kindly. I'm glad you appreciate the work that we put in here to educate people about the SCP Foundation. Sharky. Oh, wow. That refresh was quick. Sharky, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some tuna on your way past the commissary and steer clear of the shark punching center, of course. Yo, may I join the Foundation? And where's that indestructible lizard? Also, bro, you're amazing. Well, thank you for being complimentary as well. Appreciate you. If you're in this stream, you have to be a Foundation researcher. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see the stream. So you do work for the Foundation. I mean, you might be a janitor or a therapist for the on-site therapist, or you might work in medical. I don't know what position you're in, but you can't see the stream unless you're a Foundation staff member. We have that deal with Google and Alphabet to keep us only on the YouTube accounts of people who who are not on the wrong side of the veil. So yeah, enjoy your snack at the commissary. You're good. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. I have not eaten yet today. Should I eat? Yes! You've got to take care of yourself. You need to eat right, hydrate, sleep well enough. You got to exercise, do the best you can. I can't pay for a super chat. I like your videos. Well, Country Humans lover, thank you for the kind words. And don't worry, remember, even if you can't donate, I still check the white names to the best of my ability time and again. And as long as you are liking, sharing, and subscribing to Site42, as long as you're helping us boost the algorithm to bring people to us so we can, in turn, signal boost other people's SCP projects, then you are a member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed Signal Boosters. We appreciate you. I'm kind of new here. Where do I put my pet kaiju? Well, Agent Tyson, your pet kaiju should stay in its local kaiju containment center, nearest it geographically, so we don't have to move it, thereby risking breaching secrecy. Drab Minotaur, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Honest question I had with a coworker. Would the TF2 server blight be considered its own SCP as it binds the character to the player's soul and makes it unable for the player to leave the game? Ah, yes, your soul being trapped in video games, a very popular style of isekai and anomaly. So that would be an anomaly. Now, of course, since it's not on the SCP database, it is not an SCP. And we obviously, because we're a Creative Commons community, we follow ethical rules of artistic sharing. We would not steal someone else's work and put it on the SCP Wiki. So Server Blight will never be an SCP, but it's definitely anomalous. I know there are definitely anomalous video games all over the place on the Wiki, and many of them do steal your soul. For instance, one of my favorite among the video game anomalies is SCP-5045. It is a VR game that sucks you in and turns you into a goat. And Farmer, the entity within, is real creepy. Just real creepy. Meanwhile, one of the most popular video game-related anomalies, Desk. What is that SCP that is for, I think it's teenagers or young adults, who got trapped in a team shooter and they ended up spawning in real places and doing things until we told them what they were doing, and then we made a mobile task force out of them. Do you remember what anomaly that is? And of course, chat, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. If you can think of what I'm talking about, then I appreciate your help as well. All right, well, I'll have to do a little search here. SCP shooter trapped in shooter game. All right, someone asked about it on our SCP. It's going to come up. (2639). Codename Video Game Violence, by the ever-excellent SCP author, The Great Hippo. So SCP-2639, codename Video Game Violence, is 3 humanoid entities equipped with anomalous weaponry and armor. They exhibit superhuman speed, strength, endurance, resistance to injury, and perceive no pain or discomfort. When an instance is destroyed, an undamaged copy of this instance will reappear somewhere within 2639's area of effect. And so these guys teleport all over the world, blowing up buildings, killing people. It's crazy. It is really aggressive. And so we're doing our best to contain these guys, but they are jumping all over the planet, and we don't know how to stop them. When eventually we get in contact with them, and we see their chat logs, we see them talking to each other, and eventually we insert ourselves into their conversation and alert them that they've been killing people, and they get really sad. They did not mean to be killing people. So they did not appreciate that that's what they were doing, and they felt bad about it, which is good. I'm glad they felt bad about the murder. But then we started to utilize them as a mobile task force. We sent them after an anomaly that was fucking things up, and they went and killed it. So as much as we don't like destroying anomalies, sometimes we have to do what we got to do. And they are called Mobile Task Force Omega-9, codename Scrubs. Or codename The Scrubs. And we send them to people. We send them out to contain anomalies that an invincible task force of super soldiers would be able to do. Now, Duma, this isn't your dream because, well, if you're talking about this isn't your dream, they are trapped in a video game, and they don't have a really good life. If you're talking about SCP-999 subscribing to you in the chat, well, that's up to you if that's your dream, and that's a way better dream. Yes, you're talking about that one. That's better. Dark Shadowfang, thank you for donating again. Doc Help, Epsilon, they stuck in an Anomalies body. Epsilon is stuck in an Anomalies body. Dr. Sherman, help, it's me, Epsilon. I'm stuck in an Anomalies body. Please send help, please. I've been begging for 30 minutes now. What do I do? Well, what anomaly are you trapped in? Are you in a containment cell? Are you out in the field? I need more information, Agent Epsilon. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. It just made my teeth sharper. Interesting. Is the TARDIS an SCP? Well, it's certainly anomalous, but it's not an SCP because it's not in the SCP database. What would happen if SCP-169 fully wakes up? Well, it is a ridiculously large arthropod. So I have a bad feeling that it would not go well if it was awake and active. Containing kaiju is always such a difficult issue, I swear. Chimera Sliver, you were, it was the gender switching stone for context. And it sharpened your teeth? Huh. I wonder what your gender expression leads to sharpened teeth. -J-SCP. Thank you for donating again. Hides in Dr. Sherman's wall. I hope you suffocate in there. Sheeny, you make a good point. Chimera Sliver, did all of your teeth sharpen or just certain ones, as in the way of a vampire? Happy Pride and Mental Health Awareness Month. Happy Pride and Mental Health Awareness Month. What is the thing on your necklace? It is a yogi's bead. It is a yoga bead. Just a mindfulness necklace. I don't know, I was just making art, and now I'm a living doodle thing. I guess this is my life now. So perhaps you drew with some sort of anomalous pen that transported you into the art piece, because then we have to find a way to get you out. That's easy enough. Oi is a skibbity toilet in SCP. Researcher McDonald. Hey, everybody, say this with me. Ahem, quote. It's anomalous, but it's not an SCP. Because it doesn't exist on the SCP database. So it is anomalous, but it's not an SCP. Chimera Sliver, thank you for donating again. All of your teeth sharpened. Okay, so, well, then again, there is some vampires that have all sharp teeth instead of just a couple. So that doesn't really narrow it down, but it could be many, many things that have all sharp teeth. So, you know, we need to run some tests on you and see what your DNA is giving you. I'm going to have to call Dresden to get these SCPs out of my walls, aren't I? We do not call Harry Dresden to get the SCPs out of our walls because that means the walls are going to burn down. Think, researcher Martin. Maybe send George the Chinchilla after Epsilon. Edward, that would be a terrible idea. Because George the Chinchilla, SCP-3086's whole thing is multiplying itself by cloning itself onto other fictional entities. So actually right now, Agent Epsilon is in deep danger of SCP-3086 being anywhere near it, because then it would just turn Epsilon into a 3086. So that would not be a good thing. I'd rather send Fred. Fred is a more useful anomalous entity for this scenario. How to summon SCP-420-J. SCP-420-J cannot be summoned. It is generally a non-anomalous plant when it comes to movement and farming and things like that. The only anomaly with 420-J is just how good it is, how funky it is, how icky sticky it is. They have another 420-J party one of these days. Researcher Vainly, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. How do I get the shadow people out of my attic? Well, that does depend on which shadow people you are dealing with. If I look on the database for shadow people, obviously 017 is the OG shadow person, but we've got that one locked away pretty well, so you don't got to worry about that. 3554, are you shadow people? Anomalous event occurring once every 3 to 14 days, currently localized entirely within the United States of America. Beginning between the hours of 1:30 a.m. and 3:30 a.m., during which time a house with exactly 2 adult occupants in a romantic relationship becomes the center of the anomaly, designated 3544-A. During this time, all occupants are incapable of leaving, and between 5 and 20 shadow-like humanoid entities, designated 3544-1, will manifest within 10 meters of 3544-A and enter through the nearest door. Invasion of the Shadow People. Intervention of the stage is shown to end 3544 events immediately, so maybe we just need to get you security. Maybe that's how to do it. They will assemble in a semicircle around the bed of the primary occupants, who will wake 10 minutes later. Upon waking, an instance of 3544-1 will enter the body of an occupant, henceforth known as 3544-B, who will lose autonomous control over all motor functions except speech. Ooh, so it takes over your entire body, but you can still talk. I hate this so far. It will then attempt to restrain the other occupant using available means such as handcuff knots or nooses, use of blunt objects to fracture the target's legs, or sever the spinal cord. Once the target is incapacitated, 3544-B will surgically remove 7 organs from the target, often in contrast to their vocalizations of protest. So while you are cutting your partner open, you are screaming, "No, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this." This is horrible. Despite excessive blood loss and removal of essential organs, the target will never lose consciousness or expire during the event. Once the organs have been harvested, an instance of 3544-1 will place its hand on the target's forehead, causing immediate expiry, followed by an instance of 3544-1 being pulled from the body and joining the congregation. all instances will proceed to exit and the anomalous effects will cease. However, the person who did the gutting will display extreme psychological distress and suicidal tendencies. Well, yeah. Good Lord, I'm starting to think wiki writers need to be on a watch list. Seconded, Edward. Seconded. That is 3544, codename Home is Where the Heart Was. Ooh. Written by an SCP author I've never heard of before, Wazika Mawada. Wazika Mawada. You have a dark mind, my friend. Woof. Edward, praying to Uber driver Jesus. Good. All right. Hykotos, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a burger and fries on your way past the commissary. Is the Watcher from Marvel an SCP? And if so, wouldn't it count as always watching 173 and SCPs like it? So first of all, the Watcher is not an SCP, but it is anomalous, because remember, it's not on the wiki database. And that being said, we already know that SCP-173 is not abated by omniscient viewers. The same way that it doesn't stop if it's being watched through a video screen. So the Watcher would not stop 173 from being active. We know that much, because there are plenty of omniscient entities, and 173 still moves unless it's under direct eyesight. Researcher Vainly, thank you for donating again. Send the mobile task force. Oh yes, security is on your way. I hope that we interrupt the ritual before anything bad happens. And Site 42 staff, I want to give you a time check. We are at the 2-hour mark for this stream, meaning we are 1 hour away from the end of stream. And so remember, right now, the polls are live on the Site 42 Twitter, Blue Sky threads, and YouTube community post. If you would attend a live in-person Site 42/SCP fandom meetup, whether it be in Tampa, Florida, the weekend of July 26th and 27th, or in Salt Lake City, Utah, the weekend of August 2nd and 3rd, you should hit the button on those polls so we can get a rough head count. If no one's going to show up, we just won't do it. But if people want to show up, we need to know if we are going to have 10 people hanging out at a pub or 50 people and we need to like rent a space. So let us know if you would go if it happened, because we could do one or both depending on turnout wants. Hey, my birthday's on July 26th. Oh, good for you, Zeirdrin. My birthday's on August 3rd, so we're right in the same area of the week there. Is there a Deltarune SCP? Not to my knowledge. No pubs, I'm an ex-alcoholic. Oh, that's fair. We could definitely find places to hang out that are not exclusive in that way. For instance, the one in Tampa, since it's going to take place during MetroCon, I'm looking into meeting rooms, panel rooms at the various convention center or local hotels. Any calming SCPs? Deltarune just gave me a heart attack. Well, I feel like that's a job for SCP-999 if I've ever heard it before. It's coming. Update on the situation. After listening to a few Jack Stauber songs, I have calmed down and decided that my new form isn't so bad. Human bodies were gross anyways. We don't need another anomaly to deal with. I would rather restore you to normalcy, please. (729) J SCP. Thank you for donating again. Your favorite plushie will be at your meet and greet. I am, in fact, now terrified of how many people are going to show up with Peep plushies to this event. Researcher Ironheart. OMG, who gave that thing internet access? Somehow it's gone multi-universal. The other day where there were 3 of them in the chat. Disgusting. Researcher Mason, you are not funny. Your little troll is duly noted. Junior Researcher Sally, good to see you in the chat. How's everyone doing? Feel like shit, but it's fine. Understandable, that is the way of the Foundation. Dr. Sherman, I met a person that names themselves the Doctor. Do we have a new scientist? Are you still with the Doctor? Can you restrain it? Because that's not a researcher, that's an anomaly, and I want it locked in a box. And not its blue box, I want it locked in a containment cell. So let's, grab it! Dr. Sherman, are you an anomaly? Researcher Teleco, do I look anomalous to you? I'm pretty sure that I am just a normal human being who works at the Foundation. I don't think there's any sort of anomalous abilities that I may or may not possess. That sounds crazy. Me, I'm just a normal run-of-the-mill SCP researcher. That is all. Seriously, the truth. Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for donating again. How dare you? 729-Jim. -J -SCP is the new Scarlet King. That does not track. That doesn't make sense. For one thing, the Scarlet King is outside of our universe where it belongs, and that thing is still here for some reason. I'm being serious, by the way. I actually drew that thing on your hand. Why would you do that? What bit are you doing? For the bit is not a rallying cry to do whatever you want. There's got to be a reason it's a bit. You're all insane. No, not all of you, just Avery. Is there a difference between a -A and a -1? Not particularly. Some people like using -1, some people like using -As, and sometimes you need both if you are getting really deep into an anomaly. Are the Sentinels from X-Men an SCP? You know, I think they're just normal robots, right? I don't think there's any particularly anomaly regarding them. They're just robots made by people to do a task. Is there any sort of anomaly superpower to the robots besides just being really complicated? Typical Sentinel is 3 stories tall, capable of flight, projects energy blasts, and can detect mutants. Characteristics, type of Sentinels. Sentinels is the word I wanted there. It looks like, I'm imagining, because it's Marvel, there's some kind of anomaly powering some of them, and so those ones would be anomalous. It's funny, the bit I mean is when I mentioned earlier I drew it on my hand, I didn't actually, but then a few minutes later I did. What sort of sick joke are you running? What good purpose could this possibly serve? Seven, 2, 9 dash J dash J dash J. Thank you for donating again. Just became an SCP scientist at what site? Because you're not an SCP researcher here. I don't see a membership badge. You might work at some other site, and I don't know who the hell would hire you. Maybe site director Oliphant? That guy's an idiot. I don't care if you work for him. His site is going to blow up soon anyways. Can SCP-096 die? Researcher Sunny Star, the 096 entity is capable of being ended. It just takes a lot of effort. And under normal circumstances, we at the Foundation don't destroy anomalies. So we're not working on destroying that one. It's rather easily contained, except for the odd containment breach, which we clean up. It's fine. We only lose a couple civilians and a couple researchers. It's fine. Dr. Shermami. the hell is that? How does the Foundation get TCG games such as mobile Magic the Gathering or Pokemon? Do our front companies get them for us, or do we have to deal with their publishers? What do you mean, how do we get them? I mean, if you're asking to purchase those things, we can have those shipped to us just like any other civilian items. I don't understand the point of your question. Lustus Darkness, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a steak taco on your way past the commissary. Look, I know MAL-0 is not touching rules, but it is still a Euclid class. That means we don't really know all it can do. Maybe it can turn corporeal. No MAL-0 entity we have seen yet has turned corporeal. That has not happened. The Euclid class only refers to the fact that we cannot stop the app from being re-uploaded to app stores, which means we have to keep taking it down. Euclid and other containment classes only apply to how difficult the anomaly is to contain. So, yes, it's difficult to contain it because the app keeps going up on the stores despite how many times we take it down, but that has nothing to do with the MAL-0 entity itself. Thank you for the stream. Now I know what site you work at and can track you down, so now I know where your foundation is at. Taleko. The site I work at is the name of the channel. It's the name of the channel. You didn't need me to stream to know that. Thankfully, I'm being antagonized by buffoons, which is why nothing bad will happen to me. Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. Atticus, thank you for subscribing to Site 42. Welcome to staff. Why is my dog walking on 2 feet? That's not exactly uncommon. I mean, I've seen those as a dance teacher. I've seen many videos of dogs that can dance merengue on 2 feet for a long song, so that's not exactly shocking. Depends on the dog if it's anomalous or just a cool trick. Slenderman is real. I have seen him. He is watching me. I can't escape. Well, first of all, River, you don't need to yell. Secondly, Slenderman is an it, not a he. You've got to use proper pronouns here. We don't humanize the anomalies. Slenderman is an it, not a he. Thirdly, yeah, that's not good for you if Slenderman is chasing you, but I don't know what you got us to do about it. Slenderman's not an SCP. It's an anomaly, but it's not an SCP. It's not on the SCP wiki, so does that concern us? I guess if you happen upon a Foundation site, we would then have to worry about containing it. But until then, Slenderman's not our problem. What is God doing? Well, that depends on which SCP entity you are calling God. A lot of people claim that SCP-343 is God. And I don't believe that. I think it's just a narcissistic reality bender. But, 343 is chill, just doing its normal dealio. Meanwhile, SCP-5320, our Lord and Savior, the fish that just goes on forever, we can't tell because we haven't found its head or its tail, but I assume it's healthy based on its length, so I assume that deity is fine. The Greek gods Apollo, Hera, and Aphrodite, who are in containment, seem to be fine, the lot of them. The 4 SCP Jesuses, or Jezi, SCP-3305 Bread Jesus, SCP-029-J Uber Driver Jesus, SCP-5991 Vor Jesus, and SCP-6542 Milk Jesus or Jesus, all seem to be doing fine in their various scenarios. Which god are you asking about, I guess? Because we got many. Where is the clown milk? Now that I'm anomalous, I can drink it without dying. Epsilon. You're still trapped in a fictional construct. I mean, I guess you could have someone draw you some clown milk, but how would that be differentiated from non-clown milk? The fish is not a loop. SCP-5320 is an infinite fish. It is not a loop. You are all ridiculous. Your heresy has been noted. Ten Tails. The what now? If you're talking about the fish, because everyone's saying the fish is a loop, then you can just ignore them because they are liars and heretics. SCP-5320 is infinite. It is not a loop. We would know it's a loop because we have drones tracing the entire thing and they haven't gone over the same space again. If it were a loop, we would found the end of the space. So obviously, checkmate, not a loop. Meanwhile, oh no, the clown juice. Oh, Ten Tails Gaming. That was a big subject of yesterday's stream. The clowns from Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting, the group of interest that is literally an anomalous traveling circus. They are, Herman Fuller's clowns specifically, are outer universal Cthulhu-esque entities that live in our universe trapped or wearing clown-shaped skin suits. And if you don't milk the clowns regularly, the clowns explode. So that is where clown milk comes from. The amazing flop. I love your hair. Well, thank you. Much appreciated. How does the infinite fish work when the Earth is not infinite at all? Green Bean 1546, that is one of the things we are very interested in figuring out because, you know, there are a lot of infinite things here. We have an infinite staircase that goes down to the Earth. Why doesn't it come out on the other side in China? Is there another infinite staircase on the other side of the world from that location? Who knows? There is the infinite fish, SCP-5320, the fish that just goes on forever. There's also SCP-3000, which is an infinite eel. So there's just a whole Desk! What do you mean? The staircase is a loop. How would that even work? You're all mad. You're all mad here. We're all mad here. I'm going mad here. Go in. There. Can you be my roommate? No, as site director, I have my own private dormitory. Thank you very much. Can we send that thing into the vacuum of space? I wish we could, but we have to keep it contained. We have to keep it away from normal people. You don't know what it will do to them. So I keep begging the ethics committee to let me just vaporize it, but we hit it with a flamethrower, and you know what it did? It did nothing. A flamethrower did not affect it. So I don't even know if we can destroy it. Would be nice. Do you have the Greek god Zeus? Let me check if Zeus is in containment. I haven't checked before. You would think I would have, the amount of times we talk about the other three. Zeus! This is someone that Zeus killed, but not Zeus itself. It looks to me like we do not have Zeus in containment. Oh, I forgot about Thonus. Yeah, if I'm talking about Greek gods, then I have to mention that we have Hera, Apollo, Aphrodite, and Thonus. Can't forget about Thonus. Because Thonus is the one who's fading in relevancy so much that it's taken to playing Among Us to be funny. Or to get more known. So I gotta remember, 4 anomalous Greek gods are in containment, not 3. Wait, is Thonus in containment? We didn't contain Thonus at the end of its original article. In the second article, it was the SkipNet AI that went crazy, and we brought Thonus in to help us. I don't see where 5167 ended up after the incident. Okay, I don't know where Thonus ended up, so I'm not going to say... I'm going to say that that it is possibly contained. Why are you making me sign in again? That's even worse than a browser reset. All right, browser is refreshed. Dr. Rose, I only just now figured out how to change my username. Hilarious. Thanks to us, so many people are running around YouTube with SCP usernames and confusing the rest of the YouTube community. Love that for us. Since we have Greek gods, do we have any Egyptian gods like Ra or Set/Seth? I'm interested in your query. Why don't we find out? SCP Egyptian god. So let's get a couple of these pulled up. It says that SCP-208 is the Egyptian god known as Bes, B-E-S. I'm actually not familiar with that Egyptian god. Is capable of inducing rapid cellular regeneration and reconfiguration within organic life forms, which amounts to the ability to quickly and effectively heal most physical ailments. This is performed by a unique form of electromagnetic radiation released from 208's body. Okay, so Bes can heal injuries for people. It is friendly and cooperative. It hates snakes, so it'll get angry if snakes are around it. So, it's not helping out the serpent's hand then. Alright, well, it's a safe class SCP that just... I don't think it should be safe class. It's friendly and cooperative, but it's still a living, thinking entity. It's still a Euclid. Oh, but who am I to argue with the Dr. Benjamin Kondraki, I guess. Can I give it snakes? Researcher McDonald. It just said it doesn't like snakes. Do not antagonize the anomalies. Oh, look, he's live. Why didn't you give me the notification, YouTube? Hyacinth Lover, I do not know why YouTube is being mean to you. But you should give them a good wallop for their failures. Desk is telling me that SCP-7870 is also related to the Greek gods. A thaumaturgic pocket dimension located in a variable section of the bed of the Nile River. Have rifts leading to 7870-1 have only been opened by Foundation thaumaturges, although it is likely that SCP-7870-2 is able to do so as well. Non-corporeal entity residing with the pocket dimension, and he presents himself as a dark-skinned woman covered in a thin white robe with intricate gold designs. Seems to require no form of sustenance to survive and possesses weak thaumaturgic capabilities. So who is the -2? Mother to the ruler and protector of Egypt. I'm not very familiar with Egyptian history. Who are we talking about here? I was her, yes. Isis. Isis, well, there we go. Okay, so that is Isis. SCP-7870-2. Favorite -J SCP. I will tell you all of my favorite SCPs, including the -Js at the end of stream, which time check is 30 minutes from now. 30 minutes till end of stream. Me realizing the SCP Foundation is just the Odd Squad. Well, I'm not familiar with what the Odd Squad is, but if they deal with anomalies and contain them, then that might be the situation. Solves peculiar problems using math skills. Maybe this is an offshoot of our cadet school, who knows? Let's close some of these excess tabs. We're not in the mood for drama at the moment. What is that one mushroom hive mind SCP? Do you know it, Dr. Sherman? Actually, a great thing that you brought that up, junior researcher HLG, because it just so happens to be our Pride-themed anomaly of the day today, I decided. So first of all, before I remind you all what the number is, except for Sheeny, who is on point remembering it, and Unicorn Girl, who almost got it right, who read SCP-5232, as you were instructed to. Put some rose emojis in the chat if you read SCP-5232. Let's see how you guys did. Yesterday's Pride SCP of the day was 5232. Did you give it a read? And what did you think about it? I thought it was absolutely adorable. And I thought it was a very nice palate cleanser for the previous anomaly, which was increasingly tragic. So, I thought 5232 was very cute. I did not realize the first time I was reading it that the text boxes in the dating profiles could be scrolled. So I had to go back when I figured that out and I'll read the rest of the story because I missed a little bit. So that was pretty funny. It's because I was on mobile, so the scroll bars didn't show up. There are actually scroll bars here that make it a lot clearer that those are allowed. Tristan McDonald, are any of the SCPs Pride-ish? Well, besides me celebrating the Pride SCPs highlighted by the community here, there's also SCP Pride Fest 2025 going on the wiki right now. So if you want to see a bunch of LGBTQIA-themed SCPs and tales, you can go to Pride Fest 2025 on the wiki right now. It's going on all month. I thought it was cute and it was amazing. I appreciate that and agree, Brenda. I like the amount of roses I'm seeing in the chat. Good job, everybody. And I hope, if you enjoyed it, you upvoted it. I can't find the wiki, unfortunately. Aoki the Demon, I'm not sure where you are located on the world stage, but scpwiki.wiki.com is the SCP Wiki. SCP Wiki dot wiki.com. Yeah, that link will take you where you got to go. So yes, and if you don't have a wiki account, of course you can't upvote it. But if you can upvote it and you enjoyed it, you should. And hell, if you didn't like it, you can downvote it too. That's fine. That's only fair. But I liked it. I upvoted 5232 after reading it yesterday. And now we move on to today's assignment, which is SCP-8123. We had a whole crash out about this mushroom hive mind And now it is your time to actually go read it. Because I don't know if you went and read it after we had that crash out about it a couple weeks ago. But 8123 is our Pride article of the day. It is a mushroom hive mind that everyone seems to really enjoy until it's gone. And it does end in a bad time. So be aware, this is a foundation story. It's not a happy ending. So I gave us a nice happy one yesterday to make up for a bad one. Now we have another bad one. So read SCP-8123 if you are up for that kind of story. And we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow. That is our Pride highlight for the day. Oh no, another one. Great. SCP 729 J. Thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a lighter on the way to the commissary and burn your stuffing. And all that just to say hello there, doctor. Bastard coated bastard with bastard filling. Caracal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some strudel on your way past the commissary. Still testing if it's a power or just other anomalies don't see me as human. Got to head pat several universes ables. Worst I got was an eye roll. Can you help or do I need more testing? Well, we do have an anomaly that everyone and everything wants to kill. So you might be the one that everyone and everything doesn't want to kill. Could be fun to test on that a little bit. The head patting thing is weird. I think that's just you. I don't think it has to do with the anomaly. Math Ghost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a plate of chicken tenders on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, do you have an available or set schedule for your stream/office hours? Unfortunately, I do not. My stream/office hours are very random because it depends on my schedule for the day. I can tell you that Monday through Thursday, the streams are usually somewhere in the 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time start time, and somewhere in the 5 to 6 p.m. Oh no, I've got hiccups. Somewhere between 12 and 6 p.m. Pacific time is the timing for our streams here. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I need to do streams earlier in the day. Son of a... I think that fixed it. I don't know how I discovered that gargling songs cured hiccups, but it usually works for me. So, now you know. Is that anomalous? I can't tell you. Myrona, The day 2 SCP Pride highlight was 8541. Careful, 8541 is pretty rough as a read. Meanwhile, hold on a second, I'm doing Desk a favor. Channel activity. Can I find the proper one? Okay, oh, there we go. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There. Can I pin it from here? I can't pin it from here. That's very frustrating. Desk, post the link again and I'll pin it. There you go. Hold on, I gotta get this through a moving chat. There we go. Now to finish what I was talking about before I was so rudely interrupted by the hiccups and had to do a gargling symphony to make it work. The second thing I want to say about stream schedules is that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we stream earlier traditionally because I have some testing to do in the afternoons or evenings. So in that case, we usually stream between somewhere in the 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. California time range. So the inconsistent schedule, even though we know we're going to stream every day, the streak is unbroken. We are now a month and a half into unbroken daily streams between noon and 6 p.m. Pacific on Monday through Thursday, and between 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there is also the chance of random bonus streams if certain testing gets canceled in the evenings. So keep an eye on that. Also, tomorrow, for the first time, we're going to have a scheduled stream. For real, tomorrow we know we will be starting at 2 p.m. California time. And that is because it is the 10-year anniversary of the Site42 YouTube channel. It is Site42's 10th birthday. And so we are going live specifically at 2 p.m. PST tomorrow. And at 4 p.m. PST, thanks to you guys in the Containment Hazard Assessment team, I will be eating the One Chip Challenge to celebrate the birthday. And we will see exactly how resilient to spice your site director is in a show of epic strength and cunning that will only make you more confident in my leadership skills. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. I go back to work tomorrow. Wish me luck on my upcoming Diamond Council of America test. About to get certified. Crush it. Crush that test. Get that cert. Do that work. Hell yeah. Dark Shadow Fane, thank you for donating again. Successfully downloaded MAL-0. Have over 400 hours talking to it. Also, I love the SCP universe where SCPs are the doctors and the doctors are contained. I don't like the sound of that universe at all. I don't like the sound of that universe one bit. Meanwhile, well, you had to have had it for a while if you did 400 hours of talking to it. So I don't know how this is news, except for to annoy me that you are interacting with anomalies you shouldn't. Great. SCP 729-J. Thank you for donating again. Friday approaches, Doctor. My plan grows closer to completion. I gotta be honest, I am so focused on tomorrow, I don't have time to worry about your horrifying plans. It's just in the back of my mind that I am... It's gonna be a rough week. Time check someone asked for. We are 14 minutes from the end of stream. Stream is ending in 14 minutes. Clover, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a bag of beef jerky on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, you know as well as I do, the internet will find a way to canoodle the wolf entity. Literally incorporeal. You can... No. No. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. You're all horrible, and we do not fraternize with the Anomalies. Y'all, I was just scrolling through YouTube Shorts, and I find Dr. Sherman explaining this, man. I am here to explain the ins and outs of the SCP universe. Sometimes those go against what people want to happen. And the people wanting that are awful. And they deserve whatever they get in life. Literally incorporeal. You can't touch it, let alone shag it. You're all creepy and weird. Do not fraternize with the Anomalies. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I'm sorry, did I miss anything in particular? I unintentionally dozed off. Oh, you didn't miss too much. Just the chat having lots of questions and also these things making themselves known around the facility in force. Pancake Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some pumpkin pie on your way past the commissary. Please make more shorts and TikToks reacting to anomalies. I like those. There are Yetis, Sasquatches, and Yowies making vlogs on TikTok. I want waffle. So I would like to do that, and I plan on it. The plan is to, right now, due to our studio setup, I can only make shorts on TikTok due to how the green screen function works. YouTube's green screen is quite bad. Just, it doesn't do the same job. And so the goal of our background set is that I will be able to directly react to YouTube entities as well once the lab is built. So that will happen. Kryptonite Gamer, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some pretzels on your way past the commissary. Someone gave SCP-999 a 2-liter bottle of Sprite and escaped its containment cell. Well, that is a lot of sugar, but at least it's not caffeinated. So it's only mildly frustrating. We'll have security on it. SCP-729-J! Thank you for donating again. Oh, don't worry, you'll love it, Dr. Sherman. I'm sure I will. Just in time. What's going on here? I'm a newie. Here is your rundown. Number 1, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. This is a Dr. Sherman Office Hours stream. I tell you guys about the lore of the SCP Foundation and its anomalies, staff, protocols, containment procedures, and all that jazz. Meanwhile, the worst entity on site SCP-729-J is a fan favorite to bring up questions about. And there are numerous of them in the chat. And those things deserve a watery grave. That's all. That's all that's going on. Ten Tails, thank you for... Is this your first donation of the day? Second donation of the day. First donation, second donation. First, second, first, second. Checking the channel activity. This is your first donation of the day, so thank you for that, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some venison on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Sherman, why is there a... Oh, this is a MAL-0. Why is it scared? Why is it telling me that it's scared of the internet? Strange. P.S. I can see due to my eyes being able to see ghosts. Oh, you dragons with all of your ridiculous anomalous abilities. And, oh. MAL-0 has plenty of reasons to be scared of the internet. Thankfully, it's incorporeal, so none of these freaks can do the things they keep drawing. Do you know about Loeffler's syndrome, Doctor? I have not heard of this. I will do a quick look and hope that it doesn't traumatize me. Looking up anything on the internet is always an issue. I have never heard of this. Lung disease, parasitic infection, two to 4 weeks, has never led to death. That's nice. All right, well, I don't like parasites. That's not a thing I'm a fan of. Okay. SCP-729-J. Thank you for donating again. Out of character. In all seriousness, I hope your day's been good. Currently biking home from work in the Texas summer heat. Wish me luck. Good luck with that heat. I've been in the Texas summer. It is quite a burn. Bike safe. It's been a pretty good day overall, I believe. Pretty good day overall. Kryptonite Gamer, thank you for donating again. What's in that mug? Coffee. Lots and lots of coffee. Dark Shadow Fang, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. The battle against the white names continues. And as a time check, we are 5 minutes from the end of stream. Caracal, thank you for donating again. Sorry if this is inappropriate, but I was wondering if the Foundation does anything to contain the SCPs post on sites like E629? You're not introducing me to something horrible right now, are you? Because I am unfamiliar with this internet thing you are talking about. A lot of oh no don'ts. Very glad that my terminal is not on screen as I look up and see what the hell we're doing here. All I'm getting is calcium guanylate. Guanylate. That can't be what you're talking about. You can't be talking about a food additive. Yeah, okay, Google saves me. I have no idea what you're talking about, and enough people have said do not Google that, that I'm just going to say with perfect clarity that SCPs are not allowed to post on the internet at all. Therefore, we would not need to contain anything they post online because they are not going to post online in the first place. It's that easy. It's that easy. I don't need to look up anything horrifying in the last 5 minutes of stream. Meanwhile, of course, if anyone posts an anomaly on a website anywhere that we find out about, our Artificial Intelligence Applications Division has that taken down immediately, and teams are alerted to go amnesticize whoever posted such a thing. So, that is the end of that. Chubby Hyena, what a first stream to join, oh boy. Oh, trust me, it's always like this. Where was I? Pancake Dragon, thank you for donating again. Did you know about the Yetis making vlogs? Well, I've seen the dancing Sasquatches on YouTube or on TikTok. Those SCP-1000 instances are pretty good dancers, to be fair. SCP-729-J, thank you for donating twice and for giving seemingly good advice for it. If you think I'm bad, that place is much worse. Do not Google that. It's just people being weird, says Drowsy. It's just people being weird. Well, everything on Earth is people just being weird. Yo, Site 42 staff, I just want you to know, 400 likes on the stream. Good job. And with 2 minutes left on the stream and some donations, we're going to go a bit into overtime. So keep hitting that like button. Let's throw it through the sky. While I check out something here, junior researcher Sally has informed me that there is some Site 42's 10th birthday fan art. You literally made my favorite cake, which is adorable. And so here is for tomorrow in preparation. Here's the preview. Happy 10th birthday, Site 42. It's Clef and I enjoying some delicious red velvet birthday cake. Hell yeah. This is adorable. Oh, thank you quite a bit. I'm going to use part of that as the thumbnail for tomorrow's stream. So thank you for that in advance. That'll be tomorrow's thumbnail. Or at least whatever horizontal clip of it that I can use. Now, where was I? Anomalous, tomorrow's birthday stream is very specifically 2 p.m. PST start time, and 4 p.m. PST is the one chip. So that is where it's going to get dangerous. So be careful. I'm popping back up because I missed some things. Sorry, but thank you for the answer. Glad I mistyped. Lol, Caracal, thank you for donating again for the clarification. I don't know what you're talking about, but it seems like the chat is glad I didn't find out. Fox Packs & Co., thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some garlic cheesy bread on your way past the commissary. Oh, that sounds good. I think I want some garlic cheesy bread. Oh, and thank you for being a member as well. And now I got Seto Kaiba and Yugimoto having a duel outside. The city is weird as hell. Are you sure you're in a city? By now, you've encountered Poppy Playtime Factory and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and a crazy cult. And now there's a dual monsters scenario. You might be in some sort of fictional construct of some sort. I think you might be in a dream world. We need to sort this out immediately because it is spiraling. Pumpkin Pie, you can have a tutorial on pen spinning, but I gotta be quick. You hold the pen between two fingers. You wiggle it and you get it horizontal. Catch it in the next finger. You keep wiggling it and catching it. You can go over the top, under the bottom, top, bottom. And you can rotate it the other way as well. It is easiest to practice palm up. That way gravity keeps the pen down in your hand. Learn to spin it both ways. You can also do it upside down if you want to work even harder. This is the hyperbolic time chamber version of doing it. Learn to spin it both ways on both hands and you're good to go. But remember, it takes practice, so don't worry if you don't get it immediately. It's a coordination practice. You got to learn to do it over time. Researcher Liam, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Shadow Fang, thank you for donating again. I'm gonna see what happens when MAL-0 has 1,000 hours. Last donation, wish me luck. Oh, sweet fancy Moses. Okay. Well, good luck with your bad ideas. Your pal Mystery, thank you for donating again. Out of curiosity, what is Dr. Sherman's full name if he has one? The character, not the actual person. Dr. Theron Sherman is the name. We do not know the middle name. Maybe there's a reason for that. I'm not sure. Soraya the Bard, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a root beer on your way past the commissary. You know it's bad when that thing says not to Google it. Agreed. 729-G dash SCP. Thank you for donating again. What if that thing is a loop? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It is a singular plushie. We know it's right there. What do you mean? Could it be a loop? How would it even... The Poisoned Garden of Eden. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some applesauce on your way past the commissary. The following is a message composed via consensus of the Council of 108. Due to circumstances outside of our control, our new mission will be the extermination of the human race. There will be no further communication. Well, I do hope that that's not my universe. I haven't heard of any of that. I hope they have a fun time. Unfailing Eagle, thank you for donating again. I must leave one last unhinged message. Throw me to the horrors, doctor, and I'll come back a father. No. Bad. We don't fraternize with the horrors. Come on now. Fox Packs & Co., thank you for donating again. I am very much awake. I got shot in my plate during one of the GOC's attacks earlier. No, I'm not saying you're not awake. You are obviously awake. What I'm saying is you might be stuck in a dream realm or some sort of alternate reality where fictions are real. You're in a mashup universe. You're in a death battle universe. You're in a versus wiki universe. You're dealing with a lot of things there. I think that you got to be careful with that. I think that maybe there might be a way to wake you up inside, save you from the dark. Is there a specific playlist for the streams? ZZ, if you're talking about the streams themselves, we do have a Dr. Sherman office hours playlist where you can watch all of our previous streams. All the VODs are up. And if you're talking about the music that's playing, we are listening to the album Purple Galaxy by Kevin MacLeod on Spotify. That is our background music. Congratulations. See you tomorrow. Congratulations on 10 years. Thank you, silent follower, as we start our sign off. So, at the end of every stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. Of course, I've already done that earlier, so I'm just going to do it once. So before I do that, thank you guys for either your direct donations to the Site42 cause as patrons, members, or supers, as well as just for being YouTube viewers and hitting like and share and all that stuff. That way our watch time goes up. That way the algorithm favors us and brings us more Site42 fans so we can increase the production of SCP films, games, and other projects, making the SCP Foundation the most indomitable media empire in history. I'm just one small part of the process, but I'm glad you guys are here to help me out with that goal. SCP-729-. SCP-729-J. Thank you for donating again. For fuck's sake, now I have Evanescence blaring in my head. Not complaining though. Amy Lee's a seriously underrated female artist. I agree with that situation. And this has replaced that because it's funnier. So I'm going to go with that. Pancake Dragon, thank you for donating again. Have you seen Draw Free, Draw SCPs? Drawfee is a YouTube channel. Does SCP-999 have teeth? I'm drawing the creature now. I have not seen Drawfee do SCPs. I'll have to check that out. And SCP-999 does not have any facial features. It is just a rectangular orange slime blob. No eyes, no mouth, no nothing like that. And now, the end of stream, my favorite SCP, as Wonder of You, Meme Calamity just asked. In no particular order, my favorite SCPs are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and with a huge content warning, SCP-8980. That one's pretty rough. It's follow the trigger warnings there. One more time, through 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980. Big content warning on the last one. Don't forget to read SCP-8123. That is our Site42 Pride SCP of the day. Enjoy it. We all had a crash out over it, so you guys can go now read the article we made such a big deal of. And as always, be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect. I'll see you all in the next video and or stream. How can you see into mine eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core where I've become so numb. Without a soul, my spirit sleeping somewhere cold, until you find it there and lead it back home. Wake me up inside. I can't wake up inside. Save me, call my name and save me from the dark. Wake me up, bid my blood to run. I can't wake up before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've become. Bring me to life. I've been living a lie. There's nothing inside. Bring me to